All right, guys. Getting into the next one, the Beatles, rock and roll music remastered.
Yay!
Yeah, so we got Beatles. Next up is Bandmade, and then Morissette and Gabriel Enrique to finish it out. Beatles, rock and roll music remastered. Let's get it.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. Gotta be rock roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. I got no kick against modern jazz. Unless you try to play it too darn fast. I lose the beauty of the melody. Until it sounded like a symphony. That's why I go for that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. I took my love on over across the tracks. And see if you get a man a wailing sad. I must admit they had a rocking band. Man, they were blowing like a hurricane. That's why I go for that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. Gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. Way down south they had a jubilee. Them Georgia folks, they had a jamboree. They're drinking homebrew from a wooden cup. The folks are dancing, they got all shook up. I started playing that rock and roll music. Any old time you use it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. Gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. Don't get to hear them play a tango. And in the mood they take a mambo. It's way too early for the Congo. So keep a rockin' that piano. That's why I go for that rock and roll music. Any old time you use it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. Oh, they got rock roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me.
Oh, the Beatles, such a classic. I love rock and roll with the piano. There's like
Yes.
there's like a little bit of a giddy up, a little bit of a different feel to it. I love that some of that old school rock and roll.
Yes.
I feel like I've heard this song before, but like some parts of it don't seem familiar. Like maybe there's I don't know, maybe there's a different edit of the song or something like that. How do you feel about this song?
So yeah, this is remastered, but I don't know that it's a whole lot different than any other version I've heard. But the Beatles did everything all over, different ways, different. I'm sure there's alternate versions, but I don't know. I think like their psychedelic stuff is like my favorite. But yeah, this has like a rock and roll root kind of feel. I almost forgot that they had this kind of
Vibe.
poppier,
Okay,
vibe.
yeah.
But yeah, I was laughing it up. I love this song. I love the Beatles. I'm so glad they made the list. But I was definitely sleeping on this. I haven't heard this in a long time.
Yeah, I love this kind of rock and roll. Like I said with the piano, kind of like reminds you of like Elton John and stuff like that. Have that same vibe. Yeah, it just does something. It makes you. It's more dance. It's like the piano makes you want to dance more. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. It's
The
hard to
first time,
explain.
the first time I went to a
Oh,
piano bar, I was like,
so that's probably what I'm. That's probably I
yeah, you're
probably know
probably
the
thinking of
Chuck Berry
the
song,
Chuck
and
Berry
that's why
version.
this version sounds different. That's cool. Thank you for that little bit of information. Appreciate that, Dale.
So the line, it's got a black beat. I don't know at all, but like rock and roll roots are
I think he said
blues.
back. I think he said backbeat.
I think the Beatles know where rock and roll came from. I think
I gotcha.
not everybody gives Chuck Berry and the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Elvis is the king of rock and roll or whatever, but there was predecessors to him. I love this song. I love the vibe. I love rock and roll. I was like a little bit punk, a little bit pop ish in high school, but like when I first started listening to music, I started listening to like classic rock and roll. So this is very near and dear to my heart. I'm so glad this made it on tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's a Chuck Berry song. It reminds me of a clip from YouTube of John Lennon and Chuck Berry singing, and like Yoko Ono, like it's just like busting into their blues song and like kind of like just like scratching the record, you know. Uh, if you're a Beatles fan, you've probably seen the short that I'm talking about. It's funny. It really is. All right, guys.
She didn't help herself, did she?
No, no. She surprised Chuck Berry. Let's just say that. But it's fun. The Beatles. It's interesting to me that this is a Chuck Berry song, because yeah, like I know that John Lennon was a huge Chuck Berry fan and he did some stuff with him, so it makes sense. You know.
I'm a huge Beatles fan. I had no idea he did Chuck stuff with Chuck Berry.
Oh yeah.
I thought like yeah, I didn't know that like it's it's crazy to me like all the stuff that I do know about rock and roll history is probably like
Hmm.
only the tip of the iceberg.
Hmm. A lot of times, even when you know a lot of stuff, there's always some stuff that falls through the cracks. You know.